Why don't y'all just come out right and just say it, TikTok, that if anything that we post threatens their democracy, you'll see to it that you guideline it and remove it. It's that simple.
So my name is Brian Bustamante, and I am an advocate for targeting individuals, and I am a Santísimo Muerte devotee, which just means I do witchcraft. For the simple sense that I made a generational curse on contract, let's just say, on TikTok for what the hell is going on. It's just one of those simple facts. The American government has been using TikTok in the most criminal way when it comes down to using their guidelines to stop people. So I want you to understand, I've seen this person too many times to not raise awareness on what the hell I've seen. The American government says their system, whatever system they're using to hack individuals' phones, can manipulate guidelines. They're using this in the biggest sense. Like every time I speak about any single thing, they'll catch attention. And this is how stupid this motherfucker is. And I have to explain it. So by him using these guidelines, this motherfucker wants to use a sense of reverse psychology or make it seem like, oh, for some reason he's making me. And it's a stupid fucking clusterfuck of idiots who have no clue what the fuck they're doing, but they just feel obligated to do it. Let's just say. So as every time I speak about something serious, when it comes down to the whole reality of how Hawaii burnt down in the same way California is, and how individuals, and they showed us clearly that a directed energy weapon was being used throughout that time. It was clear. It was a whole sense. This was a whole sense to see if they could erase it from the American people's minds, for the simple facts. So everything we're being seen in the biggest sense, and it, like right now, it got me kind of pissed off that fucking Donald Trump's over there playing the same fucking bullshit that they want to play, having all these U.S. presidents sitting all together, and it was like one of those things like seeing someone be aligned with the enemy is kind of, it's a no. Let's just say. But we'll move on. How California is moving, burning down right now in the biggest sense. It's one of those most, it's a fucked up scene to see. But the first, like in the video I made before, it was one of those things where shit is about to get real with everybody real quick. For the simple facts of what the hell is going on. Never in our whole history has anyone ever seen it to this extent. And what I'm getting off the back, there was another directed energy weapon attack. When it comes down to the whole reality, after looking at the whole sense of, I was, let's just say, I could do the same thing that these agents can do when it comes down to spotting deception, lies, and stuff like that. I'm real good at spotting the program in individuals who don't even know that they have this technology. For the simple sense of how afraid Barack Obama looked. I mean, but anyways, when it comes down to what they do to these target individuals, it is one of the most criminal sins. So they do stop our radios to do this and that, and it just gets me pissed off because I know for a fact eventually I will get money. And even down to the whole violation of our constitutional and civil rights, when it comes down to TikTok, fucking, I know for a fact there'll be hundreds, maybe even thousands of lawsuits against these pieces of shit. It's like whenever you keep allowing fucking rats to make it seem, alright, like their guidelines are being used in the most criminal way, whenever it just takes one attorney with enough fucking intelligence and enough money, alright, to be able to point this shit out, this would never happen again. It's for the simple facts that why so many lawsuits have happened in this country is just for that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to the reality, these people feel like they're getting away with it with the biggest sense, but all they're doing is creating more of a negative karma towards TikTok. When it comes down to the whole reality, I did make a contract in blood in the same sense to be able to for TikTok to lose all their money. I don't care. Me personally, I don't care. It's just that simple. This has happened too many times in our country for us to fucking ever say that it's not happening. Now, when it comes down to the whole things of targeting individuals, yes, we all have a story to say. And right now, I woke up to this, to seeing a couple targeted individuals talking. Everybody talks to what extent it is. Now, when it comes down to the whole brainwashing part, it will always be the one thing that bothers you the most. I've seen this poor girl right now talking about her food, and yes, I've seen the whole facts of what they do with the food. It's like, trust me, they've all tried poisoning us in some way, shape, or form. But it's one of those things where, like, if I eat something and all of a sudden I feel the whole sense of feeling sick, and this will be the one thing they'll push over and over and over for you to say, and it is the most pathetic of reverse psychology you'll ever hear in the biggest sense, because they're gonna be like the food over and over. As I went to work all night, I barely woke up right now, and this person, the first thing he wanted to tell me was, and you'll start seeing exactly what I'm saying, was like, oh yeah, now that you're working, you shouldn't be on TikTok. But it's just the whole simple sense. This motherfucker is so much of an idiot, so much of a retard. This motherfucker wants to claim his pathetic trophy as every time he says something or does something, he makes me make a video. But the simple sense is like, I don't give a shit. The whole reality about what the fuck is happening in this country, and me personally, I feel that. I mean, I really do hope that all these people, all these individuals, when it comes down to these people high up there, these people, these billionaires, millionaires, and shit like that, I just hope they just catch illness. I hope their families just catch illness. That's what I'll manifest in the biggest sense, because when it comes down to the reality, is like, there's nothing on God's green earth that's gonna save you from what the fuck you have done. There'll be nothing more funnier to me to see you like all that, like that, I mean, and something you can't move away from. When it comes down to the whole sense of cancer and shit like that, you think I give a fuck about this? It's like me personally, I don't even give a fuck about TikTok one bit. I have multiple accounts. The other accounts are being stopped from getting views. I don't make no money off of TikTok. All I do is pretty much just make these videos for the biggest sense. But when it comes down to the reality, I know for a fact somebody is witnessing every single thing that's being done. It's one of those things, and this is how to use your mind in the biggest sense. There's agents in this country who want no part on what the fuck is being said. All these people know to what point that the American government took it to, because these pieces of shit wanted to shut me up in one of the biggest ways. So, and they figured out that anyone I care about, fucking, they can't catch illness. And it's just like that. I mean, I can keep bragging about it, but eventually somebody is gonna kick into their own fucking head, be like, these motherfuckers over here creating too much havoc. Be like, why the fuck are we helping them again? Why the fuck are we doing all this bullshit? And then that'll be one of the ways where God's light will get in and be like, we shouldn't be doing this. We know we shouldn't be doing this shit. Be like, fuck them. And there's a sense of what I'm doing. I guess to understand what I'm doing as well is like, I'm trying to create an army, not just for myself, for God's people, for the biggest sense. Because me personally, you think it's right that the stupidest motherfucker on God's green earth right now is pushing a pathetic agenda that's gonna get thousands, hundreds of thousands sick because they don't want to get caught? The smallest motherfuckers on earth, talking about the lowest of the lowest, right now is pushing a pathetic agenda because they don't want to get caught. Even down to the biggest sense of that. Like I say, this just happened in Hawaii not too long ago. Do you really, when it comes down to most of these federal agents, the biggest understanding of directed energy weapon is like that. But it's never gonna affect them. They're never gonna understand until it hits home. So when it comes down to the whole reality, if you don't understand, may your families catch illness too.